In this episode, I talked to Edit and Avihoo Ben Gida, who often goes by Avi. Their Instagram handles are at edit_paints and at Avihoo_tattoo. They own a beautiful studio in Tel Aviv, Israel, with a total of 15 resident artists working there. They're married with a 10-month-old baby, so they definitely have their hands full, and on top of all that, they're both incredible tattoo artists, each with their own unique style. Edit and Avi have each played a role in progressing this modern wave of tattooing, pushing the limits with their work and uncovering whole new possibilities of what can be done in a tattoo. My name is Jake Berry, and this is The Fine Line.
In Tel Aviv, everybody is really cool. We have all kinds of people we have like 50 and up people that are getting now tattoos, first tattoos, and it's like mainstream here. And we have young people that are obsessed with tattoos, obviously. But I think what's special in Tel Aviv is that everybody here is so friendly and warm to one another. So it always feels like when somebody come over to our studio, like he's a part of a family or a group or something that we created together.
So how did you both get into tattooing?
Avihoo started 6 years ago. He was apprentice at. I'm talking because he doesn't really know English that well, but he's gonna continue my sentence.
Yes. No, I understand everything in English, but I don't like to speak because if I don't say something like right, I feel bad.
So he started 6 years ago. He was apprentice at some shop in Tel Aviv. And then he decided to open his own shop. He was just him and another tattoo artist. And they were working, and his whole vision was to do something really big because we were traveling a lot and saw other shops all over the US and got really inspired to bring something like that into Israel.
Did that exist before in Israel?
No. Now we have a lot of people that got inspired by us, but before that we were the only ones that had open space and this large-scale studio and that many artists working together. So he kind of brought something new in general, I think, not just to Israel.
Both of you have very distinct styles. I think like anyone who's scrolling through Instagram, as soon as they see your work, they'd be able to tell straight away that it's your work without even seeing who posted it. You guys have both found something very, very unique for your own style. Avi, you do a lot of like Renaissance paintings and Greek mythology. Is that something that you wanted to start doing more of?
Yes, of course. Of course. I'm very like this style, and I feel very comfortable to do it because I like how it's like fit on the body and all the composition and everything. So I very like to do it.
Have you always been inspired by old paintings and artwork like that?
Yes.
When we used to travel, so we used to go to a lot of museums and art shows, and he always would take pictures of statues and art pieces that he loved. So that actually gave him a lot of inspiration for his tattoo. It was even before he started tattooing in this specific style. So it was like it's meant to be. He was always drawn to that style, but at first you can't really do only what you love because you have to be really recognizable that people would come to you and let you do whatever you want. So it takes time. Also, the same about me. Now we have the privilege to choose the projects, and we are so blessed to do only what we love.
That's amazing. And it seems like a lot of what you do as well, Edit, is a lot of movie scenes and things like characters that a lot of people would recognize straight away.
I really enjoy doing that. I love that personal side that it has and that wide contact, like it's a language, but you don't really have to speak in a specific language. You just do a movie scene, and the person that sees it feels like they know my client and they know me because it touches them in certain places that they feel a connection. And that is amazing. That's what art does. So we can capture something from the culture and the media and make it something that is now it's everybody's. It's like somebody's thinking about how someone got it as a tattoo, and now it feels like it's amazing because it's tattooed on him for life, and it feels more of a connection between people that doesn't know each other.
Like straight away, like you're saying, as soon as you see a tattoo like that on someone, you can kind of get an idea of who they are. Edit, you use a lot of color, a lot more than Avi would. But you do as well use color. You don't stick to just black and gray.
Yeah, I know how to tattoo with color, but I don't like it. I prefer to stick with the black and gray and do what I love.
Edit, you mainly only do color.
It started by I was doing only black and gray for 2 years, and then I just decided to try colors. It was, I think, a year ago. I'm not actually tattooing for a really long time, 4 years in total. And now I want to start combining. I want to do both. But as I've studied art, I know that I have to mainly focus at one thing, be good at it, and then move on to something that excites me next. So now that I have tried to explore all the things in color, I really want to combine both and do both.
Are you very particular with the kind of inks that you're using for the color portraits as opposed to black and gray?
I'm actually sponsored by Fusion, so it's not like I got the sponsorship and then I started using them. I was using them the whole time when I started tattooing, and then I was lucky enough to be noticed by them, and then they offered me the sponsorship based on the fact that I was working with their colors. So we've been really blessed also with the sponsorships. I'm working with Cheyenne and Avihoo, sponsored by Bishop, and we have that all in our studio. Some artists work with Bishop and some work with Cheyenne, and we have this mix in our studio, but we've been really, really lucky.
And do you switch machines for different projects, or do you mainly stick to the same machine for everything?
Because we have a really specific style, we don't go in between works. We have the same genre every time, and it's not the same work, but it's always the same hand, it's always the same technique. We don't use different machines for different things, no.
Eddie, you use Cheyenne. Avihoo, are you using the Bishop wand?
Wand. I think it's a very good machine.
You're using cartridges then, obviously. What cartridges do you prefer?
Bishop cartridge, it's a Da Vinci, the new one. They have a lot of size, so it's very easy to use everything with one machine. Magnums I use with the quad one.
Yeah, they're also really good.
Both of you are able to get like really, really small detail in your pieces, which is incredible to see. Say edit for like some of your really small portraits and stuff. Are you using a variety of needles as you're tattooing, or do you mainly stick to small needles?
I don't have a variety of needles. I'm always going to work in my tattoos with a single needle, 3RL, 5RL, 7 round mag, and 13 round mag. That's always my choice, and I don't need anything else, and I try to use more, but I always go back to the same ones. So it's just like I should just stick to what I know, and that what works for me. And for me, I just like to really get to know a needle, and then just I can do so many things with one needle. I don't need a lot. With the Magnum, I can do what I'm doing with a single.
Yeah.
The angle, you can use different angles, you can use a different stroke, and of course a different voltage to get a different result. So you don't really have to go. But of course I would use more needles if I need to switch colors. If I have bright colors, I'm going to use the same needle. I have 3RL, but twice, because one for the dark color and one for the bright colors. So I prefer to switch with that and not to change the size.
How do you find working now after having a baby and balancing the home life and work life?
So sometimes we take him with us. Like today, I have my cousin and she was at the shop and she was with him and I was working and I got to see him all day. So it's fun. Most of the time he has a nanny and I'm working one less day in a week. Like I'm working 4 days a week so that I can be with him more. But we were really worried about going back to real life. But it has been a blessing and we get to work and do what we love and then come back to him and spend time with him, of course.
Yeah, that's super fun. And just like having kids is the best. So I'm very happy for you guys. It's really cool to see online as well. And I think it's probably really special for your clients as well when you get to share a little bit about your personal life and your son and how things are going like that. And then, it gives a little bit of an idea for your clients going into the tattoo appointment, knowing you a little bit more.
They really need that. They feel like they know us. And Avihoo also, like, he has a lot of friends in Tel Aviv and the clients love him. Like, yeah, they always feel like they know him already and he has a really, really good connection with the clients.
Do you think Instagram has allowed for the clients and the tattoo artists to become closer?
Definitely. The fact that we have the story and we can share all our day-to-day activities, and especially me right now, I got to a point where I'm sharing almost everything. I think it's not that great. You always have to balance it out. Like really want my work to have more room in my Instagram because I have a personal account too, but somehow always the personal life gets bigger and they control everything. But yes, I think right now it's okay. Like we have a lot of people that look at us and they find our work to be really beautiful and we get a lot of support, which is amazing. And the fact that we share our personal life is a bonus, I think. And always when we get the reaction of the client that come and say, we follow you, we love you, and it's always so embarrassing. We never take it as something that is common. We always get so excited by that and appreciate that and love to hear that. We don't get enough by that. We don't it always excites us to know that somebody is looking at us and they love our work and they get inspired by us. It's amazing.
And it really just makes you love your job even more, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's crazy.
And not only are you guys really busy, very desired tattoo artists, you also manage a studio with a lot of artists.
I can say for Avihoo that for him it's so much harder than for me because it's a studio that he built and it was his vision. If you would have asked me, I would have preferred to work just me and him at a small shop and travel the world and not worry about anything. But his vision was a big shop with a guest artist and people that work with us, like a community, something different. And with that big thing comes great responsibility, and he gets it, not me. We are 15 tattoo artists working right now together, which is a lot, and we are like a really big family. We love that. We get inspired by each and every one of the artists, and actually they always come to Avihoo to ask for an opinion, to ask if that looks good. Like he's the how do I say it? Like a Buddha. They actually appreciate his artistic vision. So, and that is why he doesn't have 1 minute of peace when he's in the shop.
It's not easy.
That's really cool that you work with them in that way, all your artists. And it seems like you're always trying to help each other based off what I see online, which is really special. And I see you do seminars and things. Are you still doing seminars in your studio?
Yeah, but now I can do it because the COVID and everything. So try to not to do it. Maybe next year I will open a new one.
Yeah, it's a problem with the COVID right now, but he really is a great teacher. He taught me everything. And like half of the tattoo artists at the shop were at his seminars.
And do you like teaching? I know for some people, they can be such great artists, but when it comes to teaching, they just don't feel like they can do that. I think that you need to be a certain type of person to be able to teach.
Yeah, it's nice.
He has that patience, yeah, definitely.
That'll come in handy with being a parent.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's a lot of really, really talented artists coming up in the tattoo industry over the last 5 years or so. I feel like we've just seen incredible talent come out of nowhere. Why do you think there's so much growth in the tattoo industry in artists over the last 5 to 10 years?
I think with the new needles, new machines, I think anything is possible. You can create anything you want with a tattoo. It's not like it used to be before, where we had boundaries. We couldn't really paint and draw with the needles because they were always really big. The machines were really heavy. They made everything more difficult to the hand. Even when there was an amazing artist, he couldn't really do an amazing job in a tattoo because everything around, all the power supply, the machine, everything, it made it more difficult. So I think now that everything is more convenient and they have designed the machines to be like we are actually painting on the skin. So all of that together has, I think, made it possible for everyone to create. Not everyone, those who work hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're scrolling through social media, there's so much good tattooing out there now that I feel like it could be overwhelming, but it could also be really inspiring and motivating. And if you have that competitive edge, it's nice to see what's possible and then go, oh, maybe I can apply that in my own work.
Oh yeah, definitely. When I started tattooing, I was obsessed with some tattoo artists that have made my mind blown by how did they do that. And we used to have conversation all through the night about what do you think, how did he do that, what needle is that, what machine he's using, send him a message, maybe he will answer. We were obsessed. He loved certain artists and I loved certain artists, and we used to send them messages. And now we think about how crazy it is. We were really obsessed and always looking, and now still we get inspired, we still look, but it's a bit different than before because now we have our own style and we are feeling really confident about ourselves. So we appreciate other art, but we don't like try to think about every small things about how did they do that, because now we understand more.
Do you think there's a lot of encouragement in the tattoo industry, but from other artists now? Do you think that people are open and willing to share and talk about things and what they're doing? And
I think people are still like anxious for their place. I think a lot of tattoo artists from the old school are really afraid about this new wave of young tattoo artists that are coming in, and with the fine line and with the new microrealism, we have so much. Unfortunately, we have a lot of hate from old school artists that saying it doesn't heal well, it won't look good. It's like with every tattoo is getting old, needs touch-ups. It doesn't mean specifically for our style, but I'm seeing right now people that are teaching are getting a lot of hate. So I think something needs to change. It hasn't changed yet, but I'm hoping we will get there. People are scared that there's going to be too many tattoo artists, but there is no such thing, I think. The more, the better. That's how we're going to get new things, more edgy things.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I wish there was more encouragement and people wanting more tattoo artists to come in and be really good, because there are so many people wanting to get tattooed, and there's a long line of people that are waiting to get tattooed by the artists that they love. And if there was more artists available, I feel like more people would just get tattooed.
Yeah, and not only that, I think every tattoo artist is inspiring someone that is looking at him to get a tattoo. So maybe someone that didn't even thought about getting a tattoo is gonna get one just because of a specific artist. That happened to me a lot. So I don't think we have to be so afraid to lose our place. We have to allow anybody that wants to do it. Of course, there's an age and a place for everything, but...
You mentioned that you do a lot of painting, and is it oil painting that you do?
Yeah, right now I'm doing oil paintings. It's more of a personal style right now. I'm only painting like me pregnant, me and Avihoo, and Seth, and I have this series that I was inspired by the corona and everything, that we couldn't get out of the house. So right now I have like 4 paintings that took me a year to do, and I'm really proud of. I never got to finish such a project in paintings before, so
they are amazing. Everything you've shared online. Do you think it's really important for tattoo artists to continue to do that on the side?
Oh yeah, it's such an amazing thing, because before I was a tattoo artist, I was a painter, but I wasn't a really good painter. And the painting really helped me with my tattoos. And as I got better with my tattoos, and I didn't touch the paintings, I got back to paintings, and then all of a sudden I was really good at painting. I understand like something else. So now I'm at a place where I'm really happy with how I'm seeing the painting, and the fact that it takes me 3 months to finish a painting, and I can finish a tattoo in a couple of hours. So that balance, and the fact that it helps each other look at the tattoo and the painting better, that just made everything complete for me, because I had a really bad relationship with paintings before.
Like you said, I think there's a lot of tattoo artists that want to get, a lot of people that want to get into tattooing, and they just don't know how or where to go or how to start. Or what advice would you give to yourself if you could talk to yourself 4 years ago?
Well, I actually had a really good advice from you. So what I would say to someone that is starting, that you shouldn't really do all styles. You should really focus on what excites you and what makes you want to keep tattooing. You shouldn't really do anything that somebody is coming and telling you, okay, you can practice, but you can do only that. You should tattoo even for free for a really long time, just so that you can get your portfolio, your works together, and then you can continue to do what you love. That is the only way you're gonna still be passionate about tattooing. If you're gonna start going around and doing too many things, too many styles, you would get confused and probably quit, because you would feel like it's not what you wanted. You don't really express yourself. It's not really your art. So that is what I'm seeing that makes artists quit. And obviously using the right equipment, because if you would start using a shitty machine from eBay, you would get bad results. If you would get bad results, you wouldn't want to continue tattooing. So you are setting yourself up for failure from the start. So you should always go for high-edged equipment and inks, of course, and tattoo only what you feel right about. Don't ever compromise about that. if it doesn't come, just keep doing fake skins. It doesn't really have to be different at first. It only have to excite you. That was actually my problem at first with the paintings. I always thought, okay, how can I do a painting that is amazing, something that nobody has ever seen? And I would always like get so frustrated because I couldn't really do something new. But you have to start by something. So at first you don't have to invent something. Just start with something that excites you and that would make you want to do your next one.
That's great. I think that is such great advice, actually, and I've never really heard it put that way. So do you have any guest spots coming up?
I wish. We had a really big list for summer, but everything got erased and we cannot bring anybody here. Also, Israel is right now doing really well because of the vaccines that we have here. So anybody that is trying to come to Israel is not going to be allowed to get in without solitary and a lot of testing. I think it's a problem. Getting into Israel is a problem right now. So we cannot do it for artists that want to come and work and see Tel Aviv. It's not the best time right now.
Who are 3 artists that you would just love to get tattooed by?
Cold Grey.
He loves him.
Oscar.
Brandy.
Cool.
Brandy. Yeah.
How about you, Edit?
I love Goldie. She knows that I already got a tattoo by her. I want another one from her for sure. And Yono, she's from Korea. I love her. She did a guest spot at our shop and we are really good friends, and I didn't get to get a tattoo by her. I tattooed her, but I can't wait for her to come again and tattoo me. And I love Eva. She's in New York right now. I think.
Yeah,
She's
New York
in LA.
and LA.
And she seems like an amazing woman, a strong woman, and I would also love to meet her and get a tattoo by her. So for me, it's all women. And Mumi, how did we forget Mumi and Zio?
I told him.
No, but you told him about the broadcast, but...
He told us just 3 people.
Right. So
I know it's hard. It's
list.
really hard. Yeah, it's hard to exclude people because only 3 is like, there's so many good artists. How could you leave people out?
There is so many good.
And Benul.
Of course.
And Inar.
Yeah. Ben.
Yes.
The list goes on and on.
Yes, there's so many.
We have also many friends from all over the world that work.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks again, guys, for doing this with me. And it was a pleasure talking to you both. I'd love to meet you in person one day. And so as soon as I'm able to, I'll come out and see you guys.
We are waiting for you in Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Amazing. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you're enjoying this podcast, please be sure to follow on social media and wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Spotify or Apple or Google. You can find me on Instagram at jankyjake_tattoos. And this page is at the_fine_line__. So many underscores. If there's a specific artist that you'd like me to have on the show, please feel free to send me a message and I'll see what I can do to get him on. Once again, my name is Jake Berry and this is The Fine Line.